Welcome back. What a start to the college football season for our Florida universities. Upsets, blowouts to 5-hour football games. Yeah, we had it all here in the Sunshine State. And here to talk more about it's our Sunday Face-Off panel of Dave Worth and Jason Powers. Gentlemen, welcome. Miami and Notre Dame, they are playing right now, so we will keep Miami out of the conversation for this particular Face-Off segment. But Jason, let me start with you tonight. Of the Florida schools that did play, which one had the most impressive start to the college football season as far as you're concerned?
Well, I think if anybody's being objective, I think you have to say Florida State because I didn't hear one person in America that thought Florida State could beat Alabama. People thought maybe competitive, keep the game close, but I don't think many people thought they could beat the Crimson Tide. And after that first drive of the game when Alabama held the ball about 9 minutes and went right down the field and scored, I think a lot of people in the Seminole Nation in the state of Florida thought, uh-oh, here we go again. But give Florida State all the credit. They were physical. They were more dominant. After that first drive of the game, they clearly were the better football team here. And I think Castellanos, the new coordinators, made a huge difference. And just a competitive spirit. What I saw out of Florida State was so much more than we saw at any point last year. I think it's a great sign for Florida State moving into the 2025 year. And if they get quality quarterback play out of Castellanos and the competitiveness out of that defense and that offensive line and that physicality can stay there, I think Florida State's got a chance to do some damage in the ACC.
Yeah, Castellanos reuniting with Gus Malzahn from their times at UCF when he was Gus's backup. But, man, as the number one, he looked really impressive. Dave, which school impressed you the most?
I got to agree with Jason, even though South Florida, make them a close second. They had a heck of a game against Boise State, again, a ranked team, but Florida State, no doubt about it, they were the ones. And there was one guy I know who did predict they would win, and maybe part of that was showbiz. Lee Corso picked his former team, the Seminoles. And guess what? He was the only one on the panel who did that, and there you go. And the thing that got me, first of all, this wasn't a fluke win. This wasn't a game where Florida State got a couple of lucky plays or something like that, or a call went their way that maybe shouldn't have. They dominated the football game. It started with offense. Castellanos at quarterback. They were a strong running game. Castellanos showed his stuff with the ball when he was using his legs to gain yardage. And just dominated the Alabama defense. And then the FSU defense was outstanding. So this was a complete win all the way around, no doubt about it. And I don't know how they're going to top this in the next several weeks, but they can celebrate this for a little while, not too much longer before they play again. But you've got to love what happened with Florida State and the way the crowd reacted after the game, storming the field. This might be a new era. Even though the head coach is the same, this might be a new era, thanks in part to that offensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And one point on Lee Corso, Dave mentioned him. My producers pointed this out to me, guys. Every school that Lee Corso coached over his career won this week. Can you imagine what kind of a parlay that paid if you plunked down some money on every former Lee Corso team winning because it was his last week as an analyst? Amazing, right?
Absolutely.
It is amazing. I think it's
How about this? How about Florida State threw the ball 14 times in the game? Only 14 against Alabama. They ran for 236 yards, and Castellanos ran the ball more times than he threw the ball in the game.
Yeah, it was an impressive start, and I'm sure we're going to be talking much more about the Seminoles in the times to come. But for now, awesome stuff from these guys, Dave Worth, Jason Powers. Thank you, guys.
My pleasure.
Got it.